In this video, I am going to show you one of the machine learning projects that I have built while I was learning it. So hey guys, this is Vishwet. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So let's get started. So this is the GitHub link. I will put this in the description, and you can see this project from the title, Decision Trees on Titanic. So the Titanic dataset is one of the very popular toy datasets that you can play around with, and I have used the decision trees to predict whether the passenger has survived or not. Okay, so you can get the link from the description. I'll show you how the project is gonna work. I will show you how it looks, the front end, the back end, the Jupyter notebook file that I have used. So I will give you an overall view. I am not going to give you a very detailed view. So for a detailed explanation of each one piece of code does, so better you follow the football player performance prediction, or you can follow my income prediction with deployment. So you will see all the projects that I have built, the pattern is almost the same. The only thing that changes is the data set. So I believe I have also done a little bit of data analysis in this particular project. So if you want to look, you can take a look. So there is no detailed data analysis. So I was playing around with few of the libraries like Seaborn, Caleb. So I just wanted to see how the data looks like. So definitely, if you are into machine learning, you can take. You should give a look, I should say. So I will show you how the project looks like, how to make the project work. So recently, I have updated the project. You can see 32 minutes ago, then 32 minutes ago. So this project I have built in 2021. You can see September 30, 2021. So it's been a while that I have built this project. Okay, so I downloaded the project, made some changes to make this work. Okay, because there are a lot of libraries that are not compatible. So I had to work around with this project to make sure that it runs in my system and it runs in your system. So I'll show you how to do this setup, the complete process, and how to execute. So first I'll show you how to download this. So I believe it's pretty simple. So you just copy this. Definitely you can use this, or you can use the download zip. I will recommend you to copy this and use Git. So I will open a new terminal over here. Fine, and I will do git clone and the project name, the project link, I should say. And if I do download, I should say if I press enter, it downloads it. Now you can't see because it's in a different screen. I'll get the project over here. So decision tree on Titanic, this is the one. Now what I will do, I'll show you decision trees on Titanic. I go inside of here. So this is a little bit old project. This is even older than the football prediction. Okay, player performance prediction. So the player performance prediction might have something more, I should say, more refined. But even this is also, this decision trees on Titanic is also just fine. It just works good. So if I open the terminal back, if I just go inside CD, decision trees on Titanic. Okay, if I do ls, you can see, I can see the project inside. Fine. I had the IPython notebook file. Very difficult for me to search for this particular file. Now, how to get this working? So if I do python main.py, okay, so I just want to show you how the UI looks like, the front end looks like. If I press enter, now you can see it says no module found error, no module name Flask. So we have not set up Flask. Now don't go ahead and just install Flask, because there is a process that I want to show you. So it's always a good idea that you keep all your libraries that you are working with in your project. What I mean by that, so let's suppose if I do python -m venv, okay, environ, or maybe venv itself, venv, okay. So I am just creating a virtual environment in this particular space. Fine. It's going to take some time, right? So it's always a good idea to install everything that is needed in one project in this particular project itself. So all the libraries that I require, I will save it in this venv file, right? So I will show you. I have created the virtual environment. Okay, the venv is present. Now I need to activate the virtual environment. The process in which you do that is source venv slash act slash script slash activate. Okay, activate. And you can see venv got activated, and this is the proof that it got activated. So you will see this particular venv present within brackets. Now if you are using command prompt or PowerShell, this process won't work because source is not present over there. Source will work only in git bash. I am using git bash. Okay, so if you are not using git bash, if you are using cmd, the process is a little bit different. So if I open command prompt, first I need to come to the working directory. So cd desktop decision trees. Okay, now I'm in the working directory. It should be cls, and if I do dir, so this is my project directory. Now what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to do venv slash, I should say backward slash. So then I should go to scripts, then I should type activate, and see, this works. So you should be able to see venv in front of here. So that makes sure that you are completely set up. You are inside your virtual environment. Now, once your Python virtual environment is set up properly, now the thing that you should be doing is you should be installing from the requirements.txt file. So in my last project, if you have watched that, I have shown you, I have said you to avoid the requirements.txt file because that file was not up to date. But in this project, I have made sure that this all files are up to date. This all libraries are up to date, I should say. So you don't have to worry much. What you need to do is pip install -r requirements.txt. Just do it, and it's going to install all the libraries that we are going to use. So if I just show you a glimpse, so you can see there are a lot of libraries present. Okay, a lot of tabs got open. You can see that there are a lot of libraries that are present. Now you don't need all of these libraries for the deployment part. So when I try to install Jupyter Notebook, okay, additional more libraries got installed, but you don't need everything for deployment. But for this particular project, for this whole demonstration, I will be requiring all the libraries that is present, right? So what that mean by that is, if you go for deployment, if you want to deploy it to some server like Heroku, maybe AWS, or maybe I deploy it in other cloud services. I'm not able to recall the name. So if you are deploying on those places, you don't need the notebook file. Okay, but for our current demonstration, we need everything. So if I hope that doesn't confuses you. So in one shot, I am able to install all of the libraries, all of the dependencies that are needed for me to demonstrate. Now these libraries may not be relevant in the future. We need to update them, but it is relevant in 2024. Okay, and I believe it will be relevant for the next 1 to 2 years. So this is gonna go good. If you face any difficulties over here, do let me know. Now I believe it's going to take some time to install because there are a lot of libraries present, and every libraries that you are going to see is going to get installed inside this venv folder. Okay, inside this folder, everything is gonna come. Yep, you can see everything is going to get installed over here inside. So the advantage is you can have a global Python installed, and you can have multiple projects and their dependencies installed separately. So like that, you don't mix and match every project dependencies. So it's going to take some time because there are a lot of libraries installed. In the meanwhile, I could have shown you this decision trees, this IPython notebook file, but I want to show you the user interface first that we are going to interact with, how it looks like. I have just used Bootstrap to build it, and it should look a basic. So now it's installed. I will do Control L to clear the screen, and I will do Python main.py, and I think it started. So I'll copy this link. I'll open my Firefox. Okay, I'll paste it and enter and see this open. Now, just to make sure this won't work properly if you are opening in a mobile phone because it's not responsive design. As I said, this is a project that I built 3 years before, okay, in 2021. So I don't have any idea on responsive design. I was learning machine learning, not front end. So you have to bear this with me. So this will work perfectly fine in full HD and in HD screens in desktops, I believe, but it won't work properly in a phone. So that applies to all of my projects I have built. I have not taken care about the responsiveness. So if I select an option, so by the way, what is the Titanic survival prediction? What does it do? So given all this data, you provide all this data, and it will tell you whether the passenger survived or not. That's the data set says. So here you can see I have two options. I can enter the passenger details. So this is for a single passenger, or I can upload a file. This is for multiple passengers. So if you have maybe 10 passengers, you can just upload the files, and it will give you whether they survived or not. Now, enter passenger class. I'll give this as class 1. I'll make her as female, age maybe 45. Number of sibling or spouses 1. Number of children, I'll give this 1. Now enter the fare charge. I will give this as low $100. Okay, still $100 is a good amount of money, I believe. If I give coins down and if I try to predict, it should not break. Yeah, and it is showing that the passenger survived. Okay, so obviously the passenger will survive because first of all she is a female and the age is higher, you know. So she belongs to the premium class, I believe, and she survived. I don't know whether she belongs to premium class or not. I'm guessing it. Now let's suppose if I try to upload a file. Let's go to this particular upload a file. If I go to file structure, so I can give, as I said, I can share a file. Now, when I upload a file, it is expecting a CSV file. And if you don't know how the file structure looks like, so if you click over here, it will take you to the file structure. So this is how the file structure looks like. Okay. So I think this is good, right? You can understand the data that it is expecting. Now, if I try to give it a file, a test file, I have a test file in the working directory. If I try to give it that, so I'll go to browse. I will go to decision trees on Titanic sample file. I'll just give this test file, open and submit. And you can see it differentiates between the passengers survived and not survived. So I have put colors. Actually, it looks quite good. So here you can see like if it is 0, so they didn't survive. If it is 1, they survived. So you can see among all of this, we have Miss Kate who survived. Okay, Mrs. Joseph who survived, Mrs. John Pillsbury who survived. You can see lots of female survivors. Okay, we can see one male survivor. So yeah, you get the point, right? So there are a lot of data, I believe. I think 50 entries, 100 entries. Okay, I don't know. There it looks a lot of records. So this is how the front end UI looks like. Okay, I believe it's pretty simple UI. Now, okay, if I close this, so this is how the project looks like, the front end looks like. You can go ahead and deploy this in your cloud. I believe Heroku won't work now. It used to work like 3-4 years before, but you have to find other cloud alternatives. Best to deploy it in AWS or GCP or Azure, your wish. So I use another deployment service and I check the name. It's called as a render. Okay. Anyways, some other day I'll show you how to deploy and it in render. Okay. They changed the logo, it seems. So anyways, I'll show you some other day how to deploy it over here. So now if I show you how the notebook file looks like, so now I can close this. I have shown you how the UI looks like. So now I'll just open Python -m notebook. So you should not face any issue with this because at first only we install everything that was present in the requirements or txt file. So you should not face any issue over here. So Python -m notebook and your notebook file is opened. So I'll open decision tree assignment. Okay. So why we are having so many issues? That looks strange. I'll go to kernel and run all cells. Restart. Let me see. It should not give us an issue. Yep, it started working. So this is the notebook file. This is the file that I used to understand the data set. What are the columns present. Okay, I just need to check. Apart from that, I have done a little bit of data analysis. So Kleave was a library that I got to know at that point. So it does a lot of things. So previously we used to work with Matplotlib, but Kleave has a little bit of more UI elements. We can also use plotlies and stuff just to make the UI a little bit good. So I have done extremely less data analysis. I am not sure whether data analyst will be happy or not, but I have done a little bit less since I was learning Seaborn, Matplotlib, and Plotly and Kleave and this stuff. So I believe I don't want to explain this because the process is almost similar as I showed in the football player prediction. Okay. What I wanted to show you over here is that this Jupyter notebook works just fine from top to bottom without any issues. There are no breaks, I believe, and it just works just fine till this point. So this is what I wanted to show you. So it should work just fine. If you face any issues, do let me know. So the process is almost like it's like 90% same to the football player prediction or the income prediction. So if I just go over a bit, so we just import all the libraries that we need, we get the data set. Okay. So data preparation is actually a huge task. Machine learning is like the smallest part of it. You have to prepare the data, and that's the actually point where you have to work a lot. So you have to understand a data set, you have to understand whether there are any null columns or not, and if there are null columns, how to handle those null columns. Okay, so there is something called as imputation you can use, and you can plot this, all of this, so based upon your requirement, you can plot this. And I was never good at data analysis. Just out of curiosity, I just wanted to plot at this. Apart from that, number of total male survived, female survived. Okay, you can get this statistics present, and you can just just do a cat plot. So apart from that, I believe there is nothing. Correlation matrix, you can, if you know what's a correlation matrix, this definitely makes sense for you. It made sense for me back then, but now I already forgot what a correlation matrix is. Apart from that, I believe this project works just fine. these are few of the things that I found that they are very cool. Actually, the pipelines and column transformers. I believe you should definitely try to use them. Okay, I don't know what is being used in the industry. There will be something similar to this because I studied from a very very nice book. So I believe I'm using decision tree classifier. So I believe this classifier works okayish. Decision tree classifier is like okayish. You should be using random forest for a more accuracy. Any kind of ensemble techniques will give you a higher accuracy. And this is something called as the grid parameter. So you can use the grid search CV. If you don't know, I do highly recommend you should learn grid search CV. So what the grid search CV it does is we give it a parameter set, and it does a combination of all of these parameters. I have shared this in my income prediction video. I have shared this how this works. So it is going to create a combination of all of this. Maybe for first is Gini, range 2, then for minimum sample split it will take 2, minimum sample it will take 1, splitter it will take best. Okay, next time it will use maybe entropy, then 2 2 1 best. Next time it will use Gini, this will use this will take this as 3, then maybe 2, like that many number of combinations it will do, and it will try to fit the model and try to find out the best model that is present. So here you can see the best model that is present is entropy, maximum depth is 32, minimum leaf is 7 from here, and minimum sample split is 3, minimum leaf is 7. Okay, and splitter is random. So it computed everything, all the combinations, and it found out, okay, this is the best. So that's it. I am just saving the model. This is the accuracy score. Okay, 83% is actually very less. To be very frank, we need more data on this, but I believe that's the best accuracy it got among all the combinations. We can improve this accuracy by using a different model, or maybe tuning these parameters more, or maybe increasing the maybe parameter grid size. Maybe instead of 40 I can give this as 100, instead of 10 I can give this as 100, but it'll take a lot of time to compute. So these are confusion matrix. Okay, they are like the building blocks: confusion matrix and your classification report, precision recall. So apart from that, this is the testing data. Okay, the steps that you should take while testing your model. So I have created a test data over here. So you can see, if you go to sample file, there is a test data over here. So I have just tested with the test data. So it just a trim. So I have just used the training data to a sample of it. I'm using that as a test data. So the process is very simple. Like just like import job.lib, load all the models and your pipelines present. Do the pre-processing. You load it, do the pre-processing by using the transform. Okay, and just do the predict, and this gives you a prediction. And I think that's all for this. I'll shut down. So these are few of the projects. I mean, one of the projects that I have built. I have uploaded, I think, two of the projects. I think 3 or 4 of the projects. So football player performance is one. Then I have this income price prediction. Then I have uploaded another project, okay, which you will be able to see. So I think I have uploaded 4-5 projects in machine learning, and I think that will be good for people who wants to get started. I believe they really give you a good understanding of how machine learning project works, how, like, which part you should more focus on, like the data pre-processing part, and the, I should say, data, any kind of data processing is going to take the longest time. Machine learning will be like a very small piece. So that's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, do press that like button. And if you want more projects like this or more projects in Python, just do let me know in the comment section below. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in an awesome upcoming programming video.